We got terrible twins that are speedsters, we got granddaughters that are speedsters, and we have the most villainous speedster of all. All of this on today's top 10 nerd list. Coming in at number 10, we have Dawn and Dawn Allen. We might as well smash these two onto the same point because you could put them side by side and it would be hard to tell the difference. What happens when two speedsters get busy? Well, apparently they make two more speedsters. These guys reproduce like rabbits. When Bart Allen and Iris West decided to have a kid, they popped out twins and they got Dawn and Dawn Allen. Yeah, the D-O-N and D-A-W-N. It seems that the Flashes are great at running super fast, but they aren't good when it comes to naming things. The two of them, of course, got both their parents' speed powers and they became known as the Tornado Twins. Now that is a good name for a couple of twins that can run super fast. Are they heroes? Well, kinda. They have been part of a few super teams, but sometimes they run off and do things that are on their own terms. I would classify these two as neutral. Honestly, that's a good place to be if you got superpowers. It's like being a freelancer. You don't have to be super all the time, less pressure on your shoulders, and you can turn evil at any time you want. Coming in at number 9, we have Johnny Tyler. Not every person who becomes a member of the Flash family needs to do so through blood or birth. Some of them will unlock the Speed Force all on their own, and that's the story with Jessie Chambers. She became a speedster known as the Flash, and also Jessie Quick, which I think is one hell of a good super name. But we're here to talk about Johnny Tyler. Well, Jessie is his mom, and even though we haven't seen Johnny be much more than a baby since he was born during the Convergence saga, where Brainiac decided he would mix several timelines together and basically restart the DC universe again, we might get to see Johnny Tyler in the future as a new Flash that comes in to save the day in the moment of crisis. That's a good way to intro a new character. And there was something very interesting revealed about people who used the Flash Force while Jessie was pregnant with Johnny. She started to lose her powers. They came back after she gave birth, but during the pregnancy she was slowing down. I guess that's the body's way of protecting a baby. I don't know if running so fast you rip through time is good for a developing fetus. Coming in at number 8, we have Jenny Ognetz, one of Barry Allen's many grandkids, and she is a powerful one at that. As a teen, she seems to have a great understanding of the Speed Force and can take down some of the toughest villains of her era. She has even been strong enough to become a member of the Legion of Heroes at a very young age. Coming in at number 7, we have Jay West. Could you imagine that you are such a powerful teen that you're manifested in the dark universe? Well, that's pretty much Jay West. Jay West is the son of Wally West, and through his father's fears and powers in the Speed Force, he was created in the dark universe. This was because Wally was so afraid that he would never see his family again. The future of this young speedster is unknown at this point, but there was a future that Dr. Manhattan saw that had Jay become a powerful hero and eventually the Turtle. The Turtle is of course one of the arch enemies of the Flash because he has the ability to drain the Speed Force from the Flash and slow time around him. Seems like the perfect counter move. Now, will Jay grow up to be an all-powerful supervillain? He was created in the dark universe, so he might use his powers for his own gain. Or will he become the Turtle as a force for good and steal the villainous mantle for the side of justice? I mean, time will tell. Or it won't. The universes get reset every 12 minutes, so who knows what the future holds and if any of it will stick. Coming in at number 6, we have Iris West. Let's stick with the West family for our next point. Iris was also created in the dark universe, manifested by the same fear that Wally has of not seeing his family ever again. I didn't know that you can make kids that way. You just have to be so afraid of being alone that you materialize them out of thin air while you're running super fast. I don't think they've come up with a type of birth control for that yet, but if there's money there, you can believe that they will make it. But just like her brother and father, she possesses all the powers that the Speed Force has, and Dr. Manhattan saw a future for her as well. She's supposed to become the new Kid Flash. So could there be a future where her and her brother are mortal enemies, one of them being the Flash and the other being the Turtle? That would be some of the HBO style writing that we all come to comics for. Once family and sworn to protect each other until the end of time, now they are enemies that will kill one another on sight. Oh, that's beautiful. Coming in at number 5, we have Nora Allen. In the Justice League Legacy universe, we have the existence of Nora Allen. I would say the unfortunate existence, not because Nora is a bad character, no, she's actually very cool, but because the Legacy universe is kind of run down. Most of the heroes have been killed, leaving Nora and a new league of youngsters to set up and try and keep what's left of the world safe. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun time if you ask me. Coming in at number 4, we have Velocity. I mean, is a clone a kid? Kinda. They share the same DNA. They have to be grown from an embryonic state. They share your traits. Well, they share all of your traits. But for the sake of this list, we're getting a few clones on here to even things out. And Velocity is one of my favorites. Not only is he cloned from one of the original Flashes, Jay Garrick, it's hard to say who is actually the original Flash with all the time traveling that goes on with the Flash family. Also, can we talk about how awesome Jay Garrick's little metal hat is and how strange it is that it never flies off? But I love that look. The only look that I would say I like more when it comes to Flashes is Velocity. He's got an all black suit with a red eye cover. He looks like they took Knight Rider and then morphed him into a being that is even faster and cooler than the car. Velocity has all your standard Flash powers along with some more advanced ones like being able to move his molecules through solid objects. I've always thought that is cool but a risky move whenever the Flash tries to pull something like that off. But he's got a weakness that other Flash members don't have to worry about. His DNA is corrupted, so if he spends too much time out of his super suit, his DNA will start to decay and he can actually die pretty quickly. I guess locking that speed force into a clone isn't the easiest thing in the world. Coming in at number 3, we have Inertia, the original clone of Bart Allen. Who is Bart Allen? We will get to that in just a moment. Inertia was cloned from Bart Allen, who is the grandson of Barry Allen and one of the Thwane family members. He doesn't really find his place in the world until Eobard convinces him to go back in time to fight Barry. But the two don't really fight, they just kind of go back and forth until Barry convinces him that he doesn't actually have to be a bad guy, he can be a good guy. The kid is actually pretty easy to break through to, and he becomes a member of the Flash family. Yay! Coming in at number 2, we have Bart Allen, one of the youngest speedsters. Once again, if you're looking at when they might have popped up in the timeline, like technically Supergirl is older than Superman, but time travel is a tricky thing. Now, Bart Allen is the grandson of Barry Allen and the son of Melanie Thwane. And we all know that Thwane isn't a name that you want to hear when you're a member of the Flash family. We will get more into that later. But this little dude might end up being one of the most powerful members of the Flash family. For one, he has all of the Flash powers that we have talked about on this list already, and you at home already know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to break them down because we know what the basics of each Flash are. They can run fast, they can do things fast, blah blah blah. None of that is new information. But on top of the basics, Bart can also use electrokinesis, meaning he can bend and control electricity firing it out of his body. He's able to tap into cosmic energy to fill in gaps in his memory about what happened in the timeline, and he can travel through dimensions, and it would seem that he's immune to most poisons, and he's just a kid. Imagine how powerful he will be when he's a full-grown Flash. And coming in at the number 1 spot is, of course, the Reverse Flash. Eobard Thane, a dude all the way from the future, a guy from the 25th century where everything is so perfect and no one needs to worry about anything. A future where he could have stayed and been happy if he wasn't such a psycho. The Reverse Flash is one of the best villains from the DC universe and has some sort of connection to Barry in terms of DNA. He has used his powers to try and destroy every aspect of Barry's life. He has gone back and killed Barry's friends. He's gone back and killed Barry's mom. He even tried to stop Barry from getting his powers, but that would have stopped Eobard from existing as well. Eobard is using something similar to the Speed Force, but a negative version of it. And from existing in the future, he knows that he's destined to be the Flash's arch enemy, and he tries to live up to that standard. Alright guys, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I've been your host, Shade Arena, and we'll see you on the next Nerd List. Bye.